Welcome everyone to Get Stage Ready, sponsored by Stand Out Stars. I am so excited to introduce our next speaker. This is a woman who is a certified dream building coach and a life mastery consultant. She is also the person with one of the most beautiful souls that I know. She is the founder of Soul Life Adventure. I want you to help me welcome the beautiful, the wonderful Brenda Soucy.
Hello, everybody. My talk today will be about my soul life adventure. Did you know that the statistic shows that 86% of people have irrational fear? 68% of that is based on people quitting because they think it's too hard. They quit. Another statistic shows that 76% of people on their dying bed, their first regret is that they didn't live their true life, being themselves. So they always lived by someone else's thought of how they should live their own life. So I'm asking you, are you one of those statistics when you come to your deathbed and think of that? So my name is Brenda Soucy, and I would like to share with you one of my soul life adventures. And the reason why I call it a soul life adventure is my company, is because we all have our soul, and we are on an adventure on this life. And our soul is to be here to grow, to learn, and live an experience as an adventure. So one day, one of my passions is traveling, and I love hiking mountains. And one day, here I see on an ad, it's trekking into meditation yoga in Nepal, trekking in Nepal. So when I saw that, I was very excited. So I booked it, told no one. It's only after I booked it that I was going solo traveling. And after I booked it, and I started telling people with my excitement. And when I started telling people, that's when suddenly people were telling me their own worries. Oh, what are you've never done that before. Like, what about the sleeping in Tibetan tea houses? There's no heat. There's no hot water. How is it going to be comfortable sleeping in those beds? And did you hear about the high altitude sickness? I've known a person that has been sick with altitude and never come down other than on the stretcher. So guess what happened to me? Or even I've been told, you're crazy. Why are you doing that? And I know that one person gave me a hug with tears in their eyes, like if it was the last time they were seeing me. So, anyways, I go back home. I'm on my own, and guess what happens to me? Fear roses up in my mind. Doubts. I had all these who do you think you are? Going up and trekking. You've never done that before. And how do we fix altitude sickness? I don't know. And I hate cold showers. Why would I put myself into the same situation? And I was like, this is nowhere to be comfortable, as you might imagine, right? But then again, my heart was expanded. That was my passion, and I went for it. So when I got there, since I'm traveling solo, we were a whole group in Kathmandu, and they all divided us in 16 per group, A, B, C, D. And since I'm the only one traveling alone, I was on group D, the 15th person. So here we go, and the second day we started in Annapurna's mountains in Nepal. And so on the second day, I had read that there was going to be over 500 steps, man-made steps, uneven steps, and to watch for my step. So I started focusing on counting my steps, and I was actually curious to how many steps I could go up to. And so here I am, I'm trekking up, and I'm looking at the beautiful mountain tops. I'm encountering in the trail donkeys, cows, the local people, and I'm enjoying myself. And I'm even seeing, I'm high up in the mountains, but I'm seeing the Tibetan tea houses that we woke up in that morning. It's still there, down there. So basically, I stopped counting at 900 steps after 4 hours. So imagine we're trekking this 12 hours a day, 10 days a week, 10 days duration. So, but the thing is, when I stopped, I realized that I was alone. I couldn't see my group. And so I was like, okay, that was not planned in my trip when I started coming here. So I got lost in the mountains. So I started walking and I see Group C. And Group C, basically, when I asked them, where's my group? They say, well, it's up higher, go up higher. So when I started my step very fast and I saw another group. Group B was asked the same question, I got the same answer, and then I'm like, okay, how can they lose a person in the group? So I started fast and faster, and then I lift up my head, and I saw one of the Sherpas that I recognized. He's sitting on one of the rocks, and he sees me, and he says, you! And I said, you! So he was upset with me because I left the group, and I was upset with them because they lost me. So he's like, follow me. So he brought me into the resting space of the first stop of the morning. We were supposed to be resting there. So in no time, a group arrived. It's Group A, the first group to arrive. So here I sat. I'm heavy with sweat, and I'm sitting there cold, waiting for my group to arrive. I sat there for an hour and a half. So by the time Group D arrived, my group, well, I guess my guide gave me the talk. Says you better follow the group. So, but what I found out about myself is that I was sitting there, and then I had realized that all the worries, all the doubts, all the fears that I had, that not only other people had brought into myself, my head, my mind, I had also accepted those doubts for myself. And here I am, sitting there and realizing that I am capable. I worried for nothing, and I know that I'm going to bring myself to that top of the mountain. So we continued, and I soon found out that the guide had instructed the Sherpas to stay with me in the front. So I continued enjoying my own trip, my own way, enjoying the mountains, the nature, and the discovery of the local little people. There were kids driving all around. So one morning, the morning of the destination is called Poon Hill. Once we arrived at the destination, which is 3,210 meters, in feet it's 10,500 feet, we walked to the sunlight. The sun started to appear and revealed that we were above the clouds. And it was showing us the most beautiful, amazing views of the white mountain caps of the Annapurnas, and as well as the sunlight was beautiful and discovering this amazing view. So basically, I worried and I feared words of other people, what they had in their own minds and what they have in their limitations. So this voice only wants us to stay in our comfort zone. I worried, I fear words of others of my own mind. This voice only wants us to stay in our comfort zone and even stay in the comfort when it's even the opposite of being comfortable. I took a risk and I realized that the beauty is on the other side of it. We raced a long life, pushing our limits. Sometimes it's purely out of fear. Fear can propel us in a good way, and it can push us in hard and make sweat sometimes unnecessarily, like I did. So fear can make us stop and think and temporarily alter our plans. It can even make us give up altogether. But the worst thing fear can do is stop us from even trying to take that first step. We can have fear as long as we don't let fear have us. You can't even begin to harness your dream or passion because fear looks like those 3,000 steps. You can't even begin to imagine climbing. When in reality, our team was all doing it all at the same time, one step at a time, going up that mountain. So yes, I got lost on my way, but I still made it to the top of that journey, which was fantastic. This one situation in my life that I can see repeated, thoughts that reveal fear, doubts, worry, helplessness, overwhelmed, and feeling stuck. The real problem is that we have lost touch with ourselves. We need to reconnect with oneself and gain clarity of what we want, decide, set a confident plan, and focus on that end goal. So in recent years for me, I saw myself standing still on an airport rolling walkway, and I thought, there's got to be more to life than this. I came upon a proven and reliable success program. I now recognize that, unaware at the time, principles that led me to the top of that mountain. I am now certified to take these principles and mentor others to create their own soul life adventure. Our soul needs growth, learning, and experience on this life adventure. What is it calling you to do right now on this life? What is your adventure that's calling you to take upon? If I would have had these tools earlier in my life, I believe that I would have had sped myself forward on so many different opportunities, experiences in my life that I missed, but I dare not to miss in my future. I now feel obliged to lead and guide others with this transformational mindset, structure, and support. One of my beliefs is that each one of us is far more powerful and far more potential than what our circumstances, situation, and our conditions allow us to be. My mission is to empower you to create a life that you love. You can do anything you want if you let yourself. Remember, life is a choice and your future starts now. Thank you.